Hey everyone and welcome back to my channel. So I've got an exciting video for you guys. This has been a long time coming since I recently got a new palette that I've been in love with and dying to use. This is the first time I'm using it, which is really weird. I've had it since May, I think, and I haven't used it yet. It's like insane. This is going to be a 3 looks, 1 palette, using the Douce, the Douce palette from Juvia's Place, and it looks like this. Now if someone could literally make a palette that describes me, this is almost it, I think. Yeah, it's just the weirdest mix of colours and I absolutely adore it. I love how it's just like the shock of the super dark brown and then neon purpley pink and a minty green. Like, that's just the weirdest mix. And then you've got this colour down here I cannot wait to use because it reminds me of Makeup Geek's Baby Face, which is like my skin colour but like 1 shade darker, and it's not warm, and it's just so nice, and it's a matte finish, great transition shade as well for pale skin. And if you're super pale you probably use that as contour as well. Just thinking about that now. I do end up using all of these colours in these 3 looks, so you will see them all in action in some way. This is the second look for the 3 looks. This is the second one. And for this one I used this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, and a little bit of this guy. So yeah, this is the second look, but you will see that in a few minutes. Before we get on to the makeup looks, I'm going to do some swatches of these. I'm going to do them like normal on my arm and go row by row and give a description, but also tell you what I think about the colours as well. So if you want to see that, keep on watching. So like I said before, we're going to go this way across them, and I'm going to do them all down my arm so you can have a good look at how the colours are. So let's start with the deep dark brown. It's like the darkest chocolatey brown that I own, I think, I'm pretty sure. So it looks like this. It's a matte finish. It has a almost like a purple tone. Like, it's brown, it's not purple at all, like not even a little bit purple, but it's got like a richness to it. It's so nice. And I have a very interesting look coming up with this one. The next colour then is this white shade that's not actually white, it's actually a duochrome that has a pink shimmer off it. And this one is going to look like this. Hopefully you can see it against my skin because I am quite pale. I like used it in my inner corner here, so this is how it looks like on the actual eyes with like a primer. But this is how bright it actually goes on. And this is how it looks on my skin. But it is a duochrome. I think it's a nice duochrome for this, and it's a nice little inner corner highlight for most of these colours, so yeah. The last colour then we're going to go into is this like peachy pinky colour. It's pink, but it has a warm undertone to it. And this one is so buttery smooth. It looks like this. So this one I have in this look as well. I've got this in my crease as my actual crease colour, and then I just deepened it slightly with some other colours which you'll see in a second. But yeah, it's just a really nice, very smooth, very easy to blend. Don't load your brush too much because it will blend for days. A little bit at a time and just build it up. It's so nice. I just lowered down the lighting a little bit so you can see these colours a bit better because I think they're being washed out with the daylight, and I'm pale anyway, so I'm just reflecting, so hopefully you can see those a bit better. And the next colour we're going to use is the minty green, which is one of the main reasons why I bought this palette, because I do love green, and it is a shimmer, and like seriously, look at that, oh my god. So this one I haven't used yet, but I will. It looks like that. It's like a minty green, or like a seafoam green with the very softest gold shimmer. Like, does the eyeshadow itself is shimmery, but the gold in it is very soft. So it's not like a gold and green sort of colour, it's green, but just has a very soft gold shimmer. It is So pretty. The next colour we're going into is this hot pink, which I have on my lower lash line, and it's I think it's my favourite colour in the palette. I think so far. So this one is like this. This is a matte finish. It's just so bright, like it's insane. It's like a pinky, it's like a purple, but with a very strong pink undertone. So that's it there. Very, very easy to blend, very, very pigmented. It's just so pretty. And yes, I did use this to slightly, very slightly deepen the corner here, but I still wanted it to look like that colour in my crease. So I only used a tiny little bit just to help deepen that a little bit more. And then the last colour in the row is this light pink shimmer. I've got this on my lid. This one is intense. It's like, although it looks like one of the softer colours, it is intense. It's so shiny, so metallic. It's just stunning, like, and it just blends amazingly into that pinky duochrome, the one here. It's so pretty. I love it. It goes on so smooth as well. And then onto the last row on the palette, we've got this matte nude brown kind of colour. This is the colour that I was very, very excited about. You probably won't even see it on my skin because it's only about a shade deeper than my skin. It's like a very light tan colour, but not warm. Like, it has a little bit of warmth in it, but it's not really that warm when it's on. It's just so nice. Great for like putting a little bit of colour in the crease, but you don't want to look like you've got anything in your crease, if that makes sense. It's just a very, very soft colour, and I'm so excited to use this. The next colour we're going into is this like gunmetal green, silver, bluey green sort of shade. It's very hard to describe. It does go on like liquid metal. This one is going to go here. It can look silver or it can look green depending on what you put it with. Like it depends on the kind of colour you put it with. So you will see this in one of the looks, and I cannot wait to use this. And then the last shade in the palette is this like terracotta shade. It looks a lot deeper than you would think it is in the palette. It almost goes a bit peachy when it's on. So this one we're gonna put right here. It's a matte finish. It's a great colour, but there's no depth in it, if that makes sense. So it's a great blending colour, great transition shade for a warm eye. I did use a bit of this as well in this look, also to slightly deepen this, because when I put the bright purple into my crease to deepen, it went a bit too cool toned than what the pink actually is. So I put a little bit of that on top and kind of mixed the pinky purple and this lash shade in together and helped deepen my crease a little bit more without darkening it too much, if that makes sense. So those are all the swatches of, I don't even fit on the camera, those are all the swatches of the shadows. I love them. I think this is my favourite one, my favourite Juvia's Place palette. Probably still going to buy more, but I do think that this is my favourite colour combo that they have. It's the one I'm most excited about. It's the one I was most excited to get as well. So yeah, if you want to see these colours in action, then keep on watching to see the first look in these 3 looks. Okay, so we're starting off this look with all our other looks the same, and we're going to prime the eyes. I don't show it in every clip, but that's what I'm doing. And then I'm starting off with the first shade of the palette. This is Berry Mousse, and I'm just using this as my transition shade for the look. Can't really see it once I have it on. Then I'm taking the shade Custard, which is the bright neon pinky purpley shade, and I'm just applying that in my crease. It didn't film, so I'm just going over what I did just to show you. Then I'm taking the shade Macarons, or Macaroons, whatever you want to say. Macarons, it's the way it's spelled in the palette. This is the shimmery minty green or seafoam green, and I'm popping that on the inner third of my crease, just to give a bit of difference. Then I'm taking the NYX Jumbo pencil in dark brown. I'm just applying that down as a base on my lid, just to make sure it's super dark and smoky. And then I'm just patting that out with my finger just to make sure the edges and everything's nice and smooth. And over top of that, I'm packing on Chocolat, or Chocolat, whatever way you want to say it, the dark brown in the palette. I'm just patting that all over my lid, Bringing it up as far as my crease, just where it meets the pink and green. And then once it gets there, switching to a fluffy brush and just going back in with a tiny little bit of the brown and blending that into the edges. It will eventually blend. It does take a few minutes, but it will blend. And if you need to go back into the green or the pink, you can, just to help really give those a blend. I'm just concealing my lower lash line, not my lower lash line, my under eyes before I do anything on my lower lash line. Then I'm going back in with the Custard shade and buffing that along the bottom of my lower lash line, so further down, because that's what I want it to blend out to. Then I'm taking the Chocolat shade and popping that really close to my lashes, making sure it connects on the outer corner there. And then just going back in with the blending brush with the Custard on it. And in my waterline, I used a black just to give it a really deep smoky effect. Then I'm taking the shade Tart, which is the pinky white duochrome, popping that on my inner corner. And finishing off the eyes with some mascara. On the cheeks, I'm taking this NYX Blush. I'll have everything listed down in the description box, so if I can't remember any names, they're down there. And as my highlight, I use the Inglot Sparkle Dust in 07 because it's beaming. And then on the lip, I took the lip liner Hip and Happy, and I used that to line my lips and lightly fill them in. And then I went in with the lipstick Gossamer Wing, which is a nude luster with like a slight shimmer. And that's our first really dramatic smoky look done using the Douce palette. So we're going to move on to our second look. I've already primed my eyes in this, and I've already primed it in both looks. I just didn't want to show it each time because it's just the same technique. And I'm taking the shade Creme or Creme, the pink, and I'm popping that in my crease as my transition and the main sort of colour. Then I'm taking the shade Crepes, which is that corally peachy brownie sort of shade, but it's more coral once it's actually blended on the eye. And just to pink the look up a little bit more, I took the shade Custard again and popped that over top. Then for the lid, I'm taking Puffs, which is the shimmery pale icy pink. This look is actually quite simple. It's very easy. And then my lower lash, or not my lower lash line again, I've said it again. I'm concealing my under eyes before I do my lower lash line, and I'm probably going to say it a third time. And along my whole lower lash line, I buffed on Custard, which is the bright pink again. And really blend this out. This is a very pink look. And then for my inner corner highlight, I took the shade Tart again. For my waterline, I took the shade Tutu in the Primark Kpop Eye Candy Eyeliner. That's a mouthful. It's just a very pale pastel pink. You could use a white instead and do the same thing. And next I'm just lining my upper lash line, doing a little bit of a wing, nothing too thick or dramatic, and it's not super thin either, but it is more like smaller than I normally do. And then just popped on loads of mascara. I forgot to film the products for this, so on my contour I use the Next to Skin blush from MAC. And then on my cheeks, I use Benefit's blush in Bella Bamba. Really lightly because it comes out very strong on me. And then as my highlighter, I use the Jeffree Star Skin Frost in Ice Cold. Here I'm just taking down the colour of my natural lips because my lips are quite red. And I wanted this to be a softer pinky lip, nothing too bright. For my lip liner, I'm taking MAC's Lip Tensity Lip Pencil in Pressed Blooms. For my lipstick over top of that, I took the Catrice lipstick in Get the Nudes paper. And that's your finished second look. For the third look, I'm starting out with that transition shade, which is Berry Mousse. And it's a really nice shade on my skin tone. Then I'm taking the shade Crepes, which is that corally terracotta peachy colour, And I'm taking that on MAC 217 and taking that to the outer corner of my lid and into my crease. And then also on the inner corner of my lid and connecting those in the crease. We're doing a classic halo eye, not a cut crease, just a halo eye. Then I'm going back in with a little bit of berry mousse just to blend out the edges of that. And to deepen up the look, I took Chocolat in the very, very deepest part of my eye, so the inner and outermost corners where my eye sinks down the deepest, that's where I applied it and then brought it into my crease. You don't want this to look like the brown, you just want it to look like a darker version of the corally shade. So I really went in with the corally shade now and blended the life out of it. Next we're taking the Seafoam Green shade, the Macaron, and I'm packing that on the kind of, not the center, we're leaving that blank, but I'm taking that on the outer and inner portion of the center of the lid, if that makes any sense. It probably makes no sense, but you can see what I'm doing. And then where they meet, I'm going to pack on a little bit of the coral. I still want to see the green and I still want to see the coral. I don't want them to overlap, just want them to blend where they meet. And on the very center of the lid, the last color in the palette that we have to use is the Mont Blanc. It's that silvery, sometimes green, sometimes blue, sometimes silver shade on the very center of the eye. Then I'm taking the shade Crepes again and buffing that along my lower lash line. Blending it out quite far again. And going back in with the dark brown Chocolat and applying that in between my lashes on my lower lash line. For my inner corner highlight, I didn't use the one in the palette. I actually use a MAC's pigment in White Snow. It's just a shimmery white. I just thought it would look interesting with this. I don't know why. I just felt like putting it on. And then for my waterline, I thought it'd be fun to do a deep emerald green. So this is Mars from Urban Decay. And I actually really, really loved how this looked. I've been loving a coloured waterline with like different looks. I don't know why. Whether it be contrasting or blends in. I just really like it. Putting on loads of mascara for this look. I didn't do any liner on my upper lash line because I'm just going to pop some lashes on. And on my cheeks, this is NYX Blush in Margin. It's just like a rosy gold sort of shade, so I thought it would look really nice with the crepe shade that's on my eyes. It sounds like I'm saying crap shade, it's actually crepe. Like the food, crepe. Then for my highlight, we're going back in with the Inglot Sparkle Dust because I adore this in the shade 07, and we're popping that on my cheekbones just to really highlight. This thing is blinding, I'm telling you. And then for my lips, I didn't use any lip liner because I just didn't feel like putting any on. And I just used MAC's lipstick in Spirit because it kind of has that same warm brown tone. So this is the final look of my 3 looks, 1 palette using the Juvia's Place the Douce palette. This is our colours that we've been working on the past 3 looks. So I have used all the colours in the palette. Yes, I have used them all and I love it. I love this weird mash of colours. I think it's so odd, but I actually love it. It makes me more like think more about what I want to actually do on my eyes rather than just whacking on 3 colours together and go. This actually makes me think a bit more about how I'm doing my makeup and get a bit more creative when I'm doing makeup. So yeah, I love this palette. If you did like this look and all the other looks and the palette, then give me a big thumbs up below and hit subscribe down below to follow more videos. And let me know in the comments what you think of the palette, if you do have the palette, and what you thought of my looks and what you would have done differently as well actually. I'd like to know that. And I'll see you in the next video guys. Bye!